Your safety, the safety of your fellow workers, and the safety of the traveling public will depend on you performing your flagging duties properly. An effective flagging operation is not something that just happens. It's the result of planning, proper training, and the use of good flagging procedures. This program was developed to help you prepare to be a flagger. As a flagger, you're in contact with the public more than anyone else on the job. Your attitude and appearance directly affect the public's view of operations. A flagger's responsibilities are critical in keeping the work zone safe. Flaggers should have the following minimum qualifications, skills, and abilities. Ability to receive and communicate specific instructions clearly, firmly, and courteously. Ability to move and maneuver quickly in order to avoid danger from errant vehicles. Ability to control hand signaling devices, such as paddles and flags, in order to provide clear and positive guidance to drivers approaching a work zone in frequently changing situations. Ability to understand and apply safe traffic control practices, sometimes in stressful or emergency situations. And ability to recognize dangerous traffic situations and warn workers in sufficient time to avoid injury. Your first responsibility as a flagger is to have your clothing and equipment in proper condition. Improper equipment reduces the driver's ability to understand your instructions. Neat dress and appearance also help you gain the driver's respect, making your job that much easier. For daytime flagging operations, Class 2 high visibility apparel is required. The outer material shall be either fluorescent orange-red or fluorescent yellow-green, as specified by your local standards. This clothing makes you more visible to traffic and makes you stand out from the other workers. An approved hard hat and steel-toed safety shoes will make you even safer. It is also a good idea to carry an air horn or a whistle to alert your coworkers if a vehicle appears likely to run into the work area. The main traffic control device used by flaggers is the Stop Slow sign paddle. The sign is octagon-shaped and at least 18 by 18 inches with 6-inch high letters. Several jurisdictions require 24 by 24-inch paddles. The background of the stop face shall be red with white letters and border. The background of the slow face shall be orange with black letters and border. When used at night, the Stop Slow paddle shall be retroreflectorized. The paddle should be mounted on a handle that measures at least 5 feet from the ground to the bottom of the sign. Before beginning any flagging operation, advance warning signs must be placed using approved sign stands. For most flagging operations, this will include a road work ahead sign, a one-lane road ahead sign, and a flagger symbol sign. In some cases, other advance warning signs, such as a Be Prepared to Stop sign, may be used. But, in all cases, the flagger signs must be in place before flagging operations begin. With advanced warning signs in place, and with proper equipment, the flaggers may now begin controlling traffic. Because drivers are sometimes tired, preoccupied, or impaired, you must remain alert at all times, and stay on your feet facing oncoming traffic. Always stand alone and in a highly visible location, away from other workers and work vehicles. However, never stand directly in the path of an approaching vehicle. Generally, flagging operations require 3 basic skills: stopping, releasing, and slowing traffic. To stop traffic, stand on the shoulder of the roadway with the stop paddle away from your body on or near the edge of the pavement. Look directly at the approaching traffic. Raise your free hand with the palm exposed to the approaching driver. Make eye contact with the driver. After you have stopped the first vehicle, remain on the shoulder of the road. This is your normal flagging location. If additional vehicles arrive and they cannot clearly see your stop paddle, then you may walk out near the center of the roadway so the additional drivers can see your paddle. Do not cross the center line. Remember to watch out for traffic that may be coming from behind you. Never stand in the path of oncoming traffic. On occasion, stopped motorists may ask you questions. Your response should be brief but firm and courteous. Do not lean on or touch the vehicle while doing this. Before you release traffic, you'll need to return to your normal flagging location. Keep your paddle on stop until you are safely on the shoulder of the road. Only then may you release traffic. There are two ways to release traffic. The first way is from the closed lanes. To release traffic from the closed lane, turn the slow side of the paddle to face the vehicles. With your free arm, signal the drivers to proceed into the open lane. Be direct and point in the direction you want the traffic to go. Never wave the paddle. After all the vehicles have passed, turn the paddle to stop and wait for the next vehicle. The second way to release traffic is from the open lane. After the road is clear ahead, display the slow paddle to the drivers. With your free arm, motion the drivers to proceed. Again, be direct and deliberate in your motions. In some cases, you may not need to stop traffic, but slow it down. In these cases, always stand on the shoulder of the road or in a closed-off portion of the roadway, displaying the slow paddle to oncoming traffic. Use your free arm to motion traffic to slow down. Remember, never stand in the path of oncoming traffic. If you learn the 3 basic skills of stopping, releasing, and slowing traffic, you'll be well prepared for any flagging operation. Situations will vary, and how you apply these skills will differ from project to project. Remember, never start any flagging operation until advance warning signs are in place. These signs tell the driver that you're controlling traffic. Without these advance warning signs, the driver does not expect to see you in the roadway. Now, let's look at some typical situations a flagger may face. The first situation is a single flagger operation. Sometimes only one flagger is needed to control traffic on a low-volume, 2-lane road. Where only one flagger is used, the work area must be short and on a straight section of roadway. The flagger must be visible to approaching traffic from both directions. In a single flagger operation, the flagger stands on the shoulder, directly across from the work area, so that he or she is visible to traffic approaching from either direction. Then the flagger can assign right-of-way with the paddle. Remember, a single flagger operation is only acceptable for low-volume, low-speed conditions. That is, roadways with less than 500 vehicles per day, where there is good sight distance from both approaches and the work area is short. The second situation, probably the most common, is the 2-flagger operation. When 2 flaggers are used, they must be able to communicate with one another. This can be done by keeping visual contact or using radios. In these cases, one flagger is always in charge of the operation. If visual contact is possible in the work zone, then the operation normally works like this. One flagger displays the stop paddle and stops traffic. The second flagger displays the slow paddle and releases traffic. The first flagger continues to display the stop paddle and stop all traffic until the second flagger turns his paddle to stop and gives an all clear signal. This signal tells the first flagger he may release his traffic by displaying the slow paddle. The all clear message can be given visually by using a signal such as lifting one's hat. Be careful, however, not to use hand signals that may confuse the motorist, such as waving. Even if visual communication is possible, radios are the best way to maintain communication between flaggers and are highly encouraged. If radios are not available, then the flag-carrying method is another way to maintain communication between the flaggers. The first flagger conveys instructions and hands a flag to the last driver allowed to go through. When that driver reaches the second flagger, he hands him the flag. Having received the all clear, the second flagger can now allow traffic to flow safely in the opposite direction. This operation is very simple but the flagger must be assured that the last driver understands the instructions and will pass the flag to the other flagger. Since this method may increase motorist delay, it should be a last resort. Remember, communication between flaggers is vital. Radios are the best way to maintain communication, even if visual communication is possible. The fourth situation is use of a pilot car for traffic control. This method works best where the route is particularly long or dangerous, or where the work area changes so often that proper signing is difficult. The pilot car is used to guide a train of vehicles through the job or detour. This operation uses a flagger at each end of the one-lane section. In this type of operation, the flaggers hold traffic at each end of the work zone until the pilot car arrives and leads the traffic through the work zone. Often flaggers must speak to the first stopped motorist to advise them on what to do once the pilot car arrives. A safe turnaround location should be provided for the pilot car at each end of the work zone. The flagger should also identify to the other flagger the last vehicle in the column. The vehicle selected for the pilot car should be lightweight and easy to handle. It should have the name of the agency or contractor clearly displayed and be equipped with a flashing amber warning light. The pilot car "Follow Me" sign shall also be mounted on the rear of the vehicle. 2 or more pilot cars may be used to guide traffic through a particularly complex or challenging detour. The fifth situation is nighttime flagging operations. These procedures are generally the same as daytime operations, except for some equipment and clothing changes. A flashlight with glow cone is recommended, and Class 3 high visibility apparel is highly recommended. It may even be required in your jurisdiction. Class 3 apparel consists of everything you are required to wear during the day, with the possible addition of retro-reflectorized pants and a retro-reflectorized vest. Remember, a retro-reflectorized stop-slow paddle is also required for nighttime flagging operations. Except in emergency situations, flagger stations shall be illuminated with auxiliary lighting. Street lights are not deemed adequate. Proper illumination, using retroreflective devices, and wearing Class 3 high-visibility apparel provide the safest way to flag at night. The more visible you are, the easier it is for the driver to see you and to follow your instructions. To stop an approaching vehicle, stand on the shoulder of the road, holding the stop paddle in your hand that is closest to traffic. Do not stand in the travel lane. Wave your flashlight with glow cone in an up and down, sweeping motion to attract the driver's attention. To release traffic, turn the paddle to slow and direct traffic to proceed by pointing the flashlight into the open lane. Do not wave the flashlight while releasing traffic. This might confuse the drivers. The sixth situation involves only one flagger restricting only one direction of traffic. An example of this is an area where trucks are loading or unloading and are blocking a lane. The flagger stops traffic in the usual manner. Once the work has been completed and the way is clear, the flagger releases traffic. When releasing traffic on a 2-lane highway, where traffic is stopped temporarily in only one lane, turn the paddle a quarter turn so that the word "stop" faces you. In this position, the sign is parallel to the shoulder of the road, so that neither stop nor slow can be read by motorists approaching from either direction. The stop message will not confuse the traffic moving in the opposite direction. The seventh and final situation deals with emergencies such as a broken utility line, a crash, or a washout. In these situations, the proper flagging equipment may not always be available. In that case, a 24 by 24 inch red flag may be used for directing traffic. Flags used at night shall be retroreflectorized red. Orange flags may not be used for flagging operations. In emergencies, your first priority is to warn the public of the hazard. To stop traffic, stand on the shoulder of the road and extend the flag. raise your other hand to the stop position. To release traffic, drop the flag to your side and with your free hand, motion the traffic to proceed. Never use the flag to motion traffic through. This confuses the drivers. To alert and slow traffic, the flag should be waved from ground to shoulder height. As soon as the proper equipment is available, the stop-slow paddles should be used. Now let's summarize the 6 flagging situations we've just discussed. Single flagger operation. This operation is acceptable for low-volume conditions where there is a good sight distance and the work area is short. 2 flagger operation. This is the most common flagging procedure. A flagger works on each end of the work zone to control the movement of traffic through the work area. Good communication between flaggers is critical during this operation. Pilot car operation. This method is used when the work zone is particularly long, dangerous, or complicated. Good communication between flaggers and motorists is very important during this operation. Nighttime flagging operation. This can be a dangerous operation because of poor visibility. In nighttime flagging operations, Class 3 high visibility apparel is highly recommended. Flagging stations must be lighted and all traffic control devices must be retroreflectorized. One flagger restricting one direction of traffic. This operation is normally used where one lane of traffic is periodically blocked. Emergency flagging. Under emergency situations, 24 by 24-inch red flags may be used until stop-slow paddles can be obtained. Remember, no matter what flagging procedure is used, always stay alert. Face oncoming traffic. Stand alone in a good visible location away from other workers and work vehicles, and never stand in the path of approaching vehicles. Your job as a flagger is one of the most important jobs in the work zone. Everyone, including yourself, fellow workers, the motorists, pedestrians, and motorcyclists, will depend on your ability to properly follow these flagging procedures for their safety. If you ever have any questions about the flagging operations, don't hesitate to ask your supervisor. The supervisor is an important part of a good flagging operation. As a supervisor, be sure that your flaggers understand their duties. Decide which situations require flagging. If flagging is needed, don't allow work to begin until the flagger or flaggers are in place. Select flaggers carefully. Alertness, good hearing and vision, courtesy, neat appearance, intelligence, ability to communicate specific instructions clearly and firmly, and a sense of responsibility are required. Be sure your flaggers have the proper equipment and the flagger signs are in place before flagging begins. Scheduled routine breaks for your flaggers is also important. This helps to maintain their alertness when standing in the flagger station. Drive through the work zone and observe the flagger's operation. Close calls or skidding mean that the flagger stations need to be moved or that other problems exist. Signs shall not be left up after the flagging operation is completed or when the flagger is away from his station. Remove or fold over all signs when flagger operations are no longer being performed. Do not mislead the public. For additional information, you may refer to the Flagging Handbook produced by the American Traffic Safety Services Association. You may want to obtain additional copies of this pocket guide for your flaggers. Flagging is one of the most important jobs in any construction, maintenance, or utility operation. It is also one of the most dangerous. However, with the proper equipment, training, and understanding of the procedures, flagging can be a safe and effective operation.